So here we are, another few days away, this time at the reservoir. So we have been here before. You've seen both Maisie and Ed on here, and we've had some great fun here. So I'm also back to run some sessions, and I travelled up last night, that's Monday evening. We've done a full day today. So we've run 4 kayak sessions for 4 different groups for the NCS program. So that is brilliant, and the young people have been amazing as always on NCS. They are generally sort of 16, 17-year-olds, so this is a sort of celebration of them finishing their exams and their year's work, and they're able to come away and they have some activities, have a lot of other things that they do as well during their week away. And, you know, a little bit of a learning experience for them, how to sort of cope while they're away and learn some life skills as well. For us, that is about getting them on the water, and they do all sorts of things. So I'm running kayak sessions, but also we're running canoe sessions, we're running mega sup, we're running raft building. So lots of activities for them to do, and they generally enjoy it. And today, no exception. The weather has been blessed here. It's been very, very sunny, as it remains sunny. You can see the sun is in my eyes a little bit here. I do look forward to coming here, especially to work with the team. It's an amazing team, and we have a lot of banter, a lot of fun. We work hard though, and that is really important. I've said that in previous video, that the provider expects a standard of work to be done and a level of work, and that effort needs to be put in. So yes, we have a laugh. We do enjoy ourselves, and when we're out on the water, or when we're getting kayaks or canoes or whatever, when we're doing our work, we enjoy ourselves and we work hard, and that is really important. That's what the provider expects. So, and that transfers as well through to the groups. If they see the instructors are having fun and they're jolly, then that transfers through to the groups, and we generally have better sessions. And the groups that we've had so far, they have been very, very good. So some of the activities, so when I got here, I actually stayed over at Ramshaw Rocks last night. That is a superb little lay-by there that I can stay overnight in the van, which is excellent. And then I get down here, I was here at about 8:10, and the gates were open at 8:30. We all came in, and then it is a sort of quite an intense activity for about 40 minutes where we get everything sorted out. We get the canoes out, the kayaks out. They all have to be taken down to the water, which you can see behind me, all laid out. The paddles need to be got out. Buoyancy aids, any wetsuits that are in the store that have been in overnight, they'll obviously still be damp or wet. So they need to come out and try and get some air so that they can be dry for when the young people get here. And all of that needs doing. We obviously crack on and get that done. Having been here last year, that is a massive advantage, because I know 95% of the things that need doing, and I can just crack on. And the same with the rest of the team that are here. So regulars, in particular Jamie, Danny, myself, we know where stuff is, we know what needs doing, and we just get on and get it done, which is brilliant. And obviously the stuff gets done quicker as well, which is to everybody's advantage, and that leaves more time for us to prep for when the young people get here and make sure that we are ready to get them on the water. So once they do arrive, we have the option of putting wetsuits on, which sometimes they do, and that just takes a little bit longer to get them sorted. They then have buoyancy aids, helmets, then we are straight into the session. We're running a really tight session as well, so this is slightly different to some of the things that I did on my previous activity week, because it's fast. There is only maybe 50 minutes, an hour tops to run a session, so there really isn't any point spending 15-20 minutes running through safety stuff, running through things that maybe are not going to happen, and also running through how to paddle. So yes, we do cover the core safety things that we must cover. We make sure we cover that, and then we get them onto the water as quickly as possible. These are young people, as I said, they're 16 to 17. They can paddle generally, and we don't have an issue with that. So getting them on the water is the right thing to do. Get them moving. watch them in the first 5 minutes of the session, and then I can adjust what we're doing from there on in. So I might do a little bit of a quick recap on how to forward paddle, how to turn, how to reverse paddle, and then we are paddling up the reservoir to what I call Crocodile Bay, so called because of course there are no crocodiles in it. And once we get there, we can then start playing a game, and it really comes alive then, because they love the ball game. And once we're into that, they are picking up skills left, right and centre. So they're having fun. They might want to get in the water. It depends on the young people in the group. That's fine too. So we might do a little race to get them off the kayak, back on the kayak. We've got a sort of running log of who's been doing what, and the record on that, incidentally, is at the moment 8 seconds. So the record last year for the sessions I ran was 7 seconds. So they've got a little bit to go this year. Maybe they'll do it, who knows, but they enjoy that competition and they enjoy trying to do it. And of course it gets them in the water. So once we've done the session, it's then swapping over. So they might go on to rafting or onto the mega sup, and then we get the group that was on the rafting or the mega sup, and that comes back to us. So I've been tagging up with Danny at the moment. So we're taking the canoe group and the kayak group out together, so we can team them up then. So they have 2 kayaks in a team and 1 canoe. And that makes it a little bit more fun, because the kayaks are a little bit more maneuverable and a little bit quicker. The canoes less so, but then they generally get in the way, so they can actually stop the other teams, and it does make the game a little bit more enjoyable. So all the time keeping an eye on safety. We carry radios while we're on the water. We have a first aid kit and a dry bag as well, so we've got that because we're not exactly near the shore. So sometimes we go out onto the reservoir. I've taken groups out today right across the reservoir, and that's a distance back to base. And they've got to obviously paddle that. And if there is an incident, we need to make sure, one, we've got radios so we can get a powerboat to us if we need it. And also we've got a first aid kit should we need to administer any local first aid or quick first aid should we need to do that. This is the end of day 1 at the moment. So I have just cooked my meal. I am trying to up my game a little bit on the meal. So I've purchased a frying pan. I know I should have had a frying pan, but I didn't. So I've now got a frying pan so I could do some mushrooms, and I've done some onions, fried those. I've put them in a pan, and I've got some microwave rice, which you can cook. You can kind of stir fry it. So I've done that as well. I added a tin of tomatoes, and hey presto, I've got a nice vegetarian meal. It was very tasty, I have to say, and incredibly filling. And after a day of paddling, which we have been doing and obviously putting kit away, etc., then the meal is essential. So I've got downtime now. So I finished at 5. We were very quick at putting the stuff away. We do get the young people to help us carry things up, and they are very generous with their time and their effort. So that makes our job a lot easier, and we got those all locked away and put away. And there's nothing to do for this evening, so they don't have groups out on the reservoir. So I finished at 5. I've just done my dinner. I've now got some work to do on the laptop, which I will crack on with, and we are back on at 8:30 in the morning. So we then repeat the whole exercise tomorrow. So I am here Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, so it'll be exactly the same activities for the 3 days with different groups. So from the point of view of NCS, they get the consistency of the instructor, and I'm now beginning to recognise a lot of the instructors. In fact, one of the instructors that came along with NCS today is also an instructor that works here, so I already knew that person. And 1 or 2 of the others I'm beginning to recognise. They're recognising me, which again makes it so much better for the provider. If they get familiarity, it just breaks down so many barriers. You know, when students or groups turn up and it's new people, you have to rebuild relationships all over again, and it is a lot more difficult to keep the sessions going. So it is better, that familiarity is there. Of course, I have also worked hard today to make sure that we remember and learn people's names during the sessions. This is becoming a bit of a one for me. I do think that makes a massive difference, and I know lots of other instructors do it as well, so I'm not the only one that does it, but I do work hard to make sure that I have nailed their names, and when I am praising them, which I do as much as I can in the session, then I'm using their name. It is just so much more powerful, and I think you gain a lot more respect by being able to do that. I'm gonna break off here. Stay safe, happy paddling, and we'll see you soon.